And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome here as we get ready for our beginning of the third round of the chase. This is chase race number 7, and we are here at Michigan International Speedway for 40 laps of racing. Should be a good one. We'll see them go double wide, maybe even 3 wide here in the turns. This track may give us a little bit of an idea of who to watch for in the season finale at Auto Club, because this track not quite as wide as Auto Club, but almost the kind of same configuration in a way. So definitely going to give us a little bit of an insight into who we can maybe see as a favorite if they make it into the Final Four at the season finale of Auto Club. But we're here today, as I said, at Michigan with Emmanuel Hartnett starting on the pole, and ironically enough, the driver beside him is a driver that drives for the team he owns, Fire Ice Racing rookie Marie Minobi, in her best career start of 2nd place here today. Highest starting chaser, you can see on the inside of row 2, that is James Richardson. You got to go a long ways back before you find Grayson Acavito, who will be rolling off from 14th place. 9 drivers still in the hunt for the championship, including Zachary Fitzwater and Charles Sanford, who were trying to have a tiebreaker at the end of the Zenjoltis race. Their average finish and where they were in the points tied up, so they both make it here into this round. So 9 drivers left in the hunt for the championship hunt. Let's go down trackside.
Drivers, start your engines!
There's the command to fire them up. We will get ready for these cars to roll off, and we will show you on the right side of your screen the starting grid for today's race. And I'm not exactly sure what's going on right there. Marie Minobi, something's wrong with Minobi. Minobi pulled down, almost took out her team owner, and there's something wrong with the 93. Oh, that's a tough break if Minobi's going to have to come to pit road at the start of this thing. Oh, man. I don't know what's wrong with it, with the Toyota Camry, but Marie Minobi immediately at the start of rolling off pit road ducked the car to the left, nearly took out Emmanuel Hartnett in the process, and is currently riding on the apron. So unfortunate circumstances early on for Marie Minobi. Have to see if we can get an update on what's going on there. The outside line being led now by Johnny Gardner. We'll have to pull up alongside, so Gardner will end up starting in 2nd for this green flag. And that's just a tough break right there. As far as the points, as I was going to say, Anthony McCurry comes in with a 3-point lead over his other 8 competitors due to his win in the last round last week at Zenjoltis, so the defending champion. We'll see what he does here today, if he tries to grow that points lead anymore, as Minobi will indeed duck to pit road behind the pace car. That is such a tough break for the rookie out of Fire Ice Racing. But here we go, 40 laps of racing in Michigan await us. Emmanuel Hartnett and now outside pole sitter Johnny Gardner will get us underway. Pichu London switching from high line to low line there. He'll go for 2nd place off of Gardner, and they're already 3 wide, several rows deep behind them. And the battle's on for the lead already. Pichu London. Oh, trouble! Joshua Sakuli in the wall, and I think he just got into Richardson. We've got a big wreck. Big wreck in the middle of the pack. I don't know if that was Richardson indeed that I saw him get into. It looked like it was, but Richardson's actually still running, so maybe it wasn't him. It was a black and purple car, it looked like, as we are under caution, and Pichu London will lead us under this first yellow. Immediately, lap 1, we had trouble coming out of turn 2. And you think Michigan may not play a factor into this chase? Well, think again. Oh my goodness, I thought they were going to wreck again there. I thought Carson Scott was about to put Levi McIntyre up into Pichu London, but looks like we're going to get away unscathed. London will be the leader. Jake Baskinger, boy, just last week got eliminated from the chase. And now he gets involved here in a lap 1 wreck at Michigan. Dylan Young is on pit road. Apparently he got involved. Tim Walsh, Dallas McIntosh, they were in it. Marie Minobi got out, back out, and I think she's still on the lead lap, so that was a fortunate caution for her. Maybe it was Joseph Srigley, the car I saw get run into there by Joshua Sakuli. Kyle Matthews has got damage. It's not good for him. That's a chaser getting a piece of that action. Cody Lamas also involved. Sean Galligan was also in it. Here comes Chris Dodd, Rocco Twyman. So there's at least 2 chasers there that have some damage of some kind. Chris Dodd in the 08, Kyle Matthews in the 09. Everybody else looks like they're staying out, so they might have gotten through it. So Pichu London is the race leader. Under our first caution, let's take a look and see what brought out this yellow flag, an incident out of turn number 2 on lap number 1. And I believe the car I mistook for James Richardson was actually his teammate Cody Lamas. Here's the contact. Sean Galligan's car kind of pushes up there into Cody Lamas, who then goes up into Joshua Sekuli, and just nowhere for anybody to go. Oh, further back there was some trouble with Baskinger, Ryan Madden, and I believe that was Dallas McIntosh. We'll go back and look at that in a minute. Look at Cody Lamas off the ground with the contact from Rocco Twyman. Jessica Shelton is right in behind this. Zachary Fitzwater was also just right behind that as well. Shelton hard on the brakes to avoid. Cole Baker's got some front-end damage there on his Undertale Chevrolet. And Chris Dodd, he doesn't hit that car. Which car does he hit? Does he hit anybody there? Or does he get involved in the thing earlier, I should say, back in turn 2? Yeah, Chris Dodd's got no damage at this point. And Sekuli gets the car righted. Baskinger back here. Let's see what happens with Baskinger. It was him, Ryan Madden, and Dallas McIntosh. Oh my goodness. Oh, this was on Kyle Matthews. Matthews goes up into McIntosh, into Baskinger, into Ryan Madden. And look at the hits. Oh my goodness. 3 cars lifting off the ground there. Baskinger, McIntosh, and Madden. And right there, I think, is where Chris Dodd gets his damage. Look at this. Tim Walsh. And Baskinger's car upside down on its roof. Kyle Matthews got hit by somebody right there. Might have been Cat Tellier. No, that was Dylan Young. Dylan Young hits Kyle Matthews. That's why Dylan Young was on the pit road. And Baskinger's car fortunately flips back over, but oh my goodness. Ryan Madden's car smoking. His day very quickly over. And as mentioned, at least 2 chasers involved in this. Kyle Matthews in the 09 and Chris Dodd in the 08. So we're going to have to see how this situates them as far as where they're going to be, if they're going to be able to continue or not. If not, that could put them really behind the 8 ball for this round of the chase. So we'll get ready to go back green. Pichu London showing the way over Holden Gluba, Emmanuel Hartnett, Levi McIntyre, Carson Scott, Daniel Voiles, Johnny Gardner. Then it's Trent Dunham, James Richardson, and Keith Batson. That is your top 10 as we get ready to go back green flag racing. Drivers out of the race are going to include Tim Walsh, Ryan Madden, Dallas McIntosh, and Jake Baskinger. Chris Dodd was not scored. Where's the 08 at? He might be out of the race too, actually. He's not in the field. I think Chris Dodd might be out of the race. Let's check again, and yes indeed, Chris Dodd has taken his car behind the wall. Boy, maybe one of the most consistent chasers this season. Out of the race here on lap 1. Pichu London now out in front. And he's going to have a challenge very shortly here, I think. Well, I thought it might be Emmanuel Hartnett. Could be Carson Scott right down there on the apron. Can he get to Pichu London's left rear? No, he can't. Look at Daniel Voiles up the middle. Power move there by the Mercedes-Benz out of USA Motorsports. And here comes Trent Dunham, maybe looking to go 3 wide for second into 3. Nope, instead rides behind Carson Scott. And here comes Carson Scott for the race lead. Ironically, we're heading next week to a track that Carson Scott picked up his very first Hersheys Cup Series win at, Homestead Miami Speedway. He'd love to be able to win here, though, his second race of the season at Michigan, as I just saw Joshua Sekuli, Kyle Matthews, and Sean Galligan. They were all still, or they just made a pit stop or something. I don't know what the case was there. As Trent Dunham now shows the way, and I'm starting to see some more chasers making their way up here to the front. Grayson Acavito in the 66, and Zachary Fitzwater in the 76. Race lead changes again. Levi McIntyre takes the spot. And here comes Voiles onto the apron. Acavito, Fitzwater also going way down there. They're going to be 4 wide going into 1. They're 4 wide, 2 rows deep. That's not going to end well. Oh my goodness, big crash. Trent Dunham, Levi McIntyre, Acavito, London, Carson Scott. And here comes traffic. Oh, and they rammed into him. That was Kyle Matthews. Just ran into the back of Carson Scott. Joshua Michaels, I think, also ran into somebody. Flickinger's on pit road, and the leader coming back to the line is going to be, I believe, Daniel Voiles. Indeed it is. Oh, they were 4 wide, 2 rows deep, and a lot of the number 1 contenders for this win right there may have just gone to the garage area in one fell swoop, and a number of them were chasers. Kyle Matthews got involved in that wreck, as did Grayson Acavito. Oh boy. Let's see who else might have been involved. Pichu London, there he is. Smoking. Chris Dodd's actually on pit road. Okay, so he is not out of the race, but he's sitting on pit road still. Zach Flickinger involved, our winner from Yas Marina Circuit. Grayson Acavito. There's Carson Scott. There's Levi McIntyre. Trent Dunham. Kyle Matthews, second incident he's been involved in. Joshua Michaels, his car all torn up. Joseph Srigley must have been involved, and looks like everybody might be coming to pit road on this lap. I think I saw some damage on Brandon Gonzalez, Keith Batson, Cole Baker. Jessica Shelton's got damage, along with William Brock and Dylan Poteet. So a lot more drivers involved in this than we originally thought. Let's jump up here to Daniel Voiles, coming to pit road. What are they doing here? Fuel only, it looks like, for the Mercedes-Benz. Gonna get that thing packed full of fuel, try and get him back out here in the race lead. Let's see if it happens. I think John Arndt might have beaten him out. Actually, a number of people beat him out. JT Bryant comes out the race leader over Holden Gluba. And then John Arndt will come out in third, and I believe that's going to be the top 3 when we go back green. So JT Bryant, his team gets it done on pit road, and he will be the leader when we get ready for our restart. Let's take a look at a replay of what put us under our second caution of the day here at Michigan. Well, I believe the helicopter cam will give us our best idea of how this one started, and you can just see they're 4 wide there with Dunham, Scott, Acavito, and Fitzwater. JT Bryant behind them makes it 4 wide with Joshua Michaels, Zach Flickinger, and Pichu London. Let's see where the initial contact begins. I think it might be between Carson Scott and Grayson Acavito. Here it is going down into turn 1. Watch the 66 slide up. Believe he gets into the 38, and the 38's going to hook the 66 into Levi McIntyre right there. Clips McIntyre's left rear. Trent Dunham, nowhere to go. He gets collected into it, I believe. Does he, or does he get through it? Nope, he gets involved. There's Acavito into the wall. Flickinger, Michaels, London. And then here's where it gets really treacherous. Watch as the oncoming traffic enters into this. Everybody trying to dive low. Brandon Gonzalez at this point doesn't have damage. He and Shelton and Batson and others, they all got into each other later on with something else. I don't know what. We're going to have to look at that one too. And then you're going to see very shortly, I believe it's Carson Scott, the car that gets hit. He's going to pull down to get around Trent Dunham, to drive around Trent Dunham. And there was a group of cars, Sean Galligan, Kyle Matthews, Joshua Zakuli, who had been on pit road, so they were kind of straggling behind. And they're going to come into this full speed, not knowing where the other cars are. And I believe right here, there's Zakuli. He gets through. But then, here comes the 09 of Kyle Matthews. He's going to just get by Pichu London, but right there he cannot get by Carson Scott. And Sean Galligan gets a piece of that as well. Cody Lamas and Rocco Twyman able to drive through it. But let's see now. Let's jump up to the 23 of Brandon Gonzalez, because we must have had something else happen. Okay, Brandon is down on the apron. This is going into turn 3. He's down the apron in the grass. Why, I'm not exactly sure. Nathan Hudson is down there with him. And what is it that's going to happen here with Brandon? Is he going to get turned by Nathan Hudson? This is now in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Now heading into the entrance of turn 4. They're almost 4 wide with Nathan Hudson down on the apron. And what's going to cause this wreck, though? Nothing at this point. We're still good. We're still good. We're still good. Oh, this was under caution. They went 3 wide. Coming out of 2. Getting ready to merge. And Charles Sanford drives up into Keith Batson, who in turn gets up into Brandon Gonzalez. And so Sanford, another chaser, gets involved in something. And then there's where Cole Baker's trying to woe up, but I think he makes contact. And then there's Shelton back here with Dylan Poteet, as William Brock gets a piece of it. Shelton gets hit from behind by Poteet. And Leon Alvarez gets a piece of it as well. So that's what happened to those drivers. So we're under caution for the second time here today in Michigan, and it's not playing any favorites. We've had a number of chasers get involved very early on here in this race. Here we go then, getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. JT Bryant, the race leader, holding Gluba in second. Third place is going to be Emmanuel Hartnett. Fourth, John Arndt. Fifth, Johnny Gardner. Scoring monitor has not updated itself yet, but it will when they cross the line. So JT Bryant out in front. It's been a long time since we've seen that 22 out in front. He was a 2-time winner last season. No wins yet this season. Green flag out. We're back underway here at Michigan. Just now, 1/4 of the way through the race, we have worked a total of 2 caution flags. Also want to state that the race at one point is going to freeze and then it will go again. So just keep that in mind. That will happen here at a certain point. Anthony McCrory up to the 7th position. James Richardson's in 8th. Benjamin Miles in 10th. Those have been the survivors so far for the chasers. As Holden Gluba takes the lead, not for long, here comes Johnny Gardner for the lead out of 4. And he will lead that lap. And now here comes last week's winner, Anthony McCrory, and the winner the week before that, Nathan Hudson. Anthony McCrory would love to be able to get a valuable bonus point for leading a lap. Got Nathan Hudson right behind him. Hudson, is he going to make a move here into 3? Yes, he is. Kind of waited there before we got... Oh, there we go. Now we can go. There we go. The reason that I had to do that was because apparently these drivers only do 1 lap of pacing after the pit stops. And so they were going back green a lot sooner than I expected. So I had to pause it so that way we get back on track. It also helps me to know who officially is out of the race now. And officially out of the race are the cars of Joseph Srigley, Carson Scott, Pichu Lunding. Grayson Acavito will finish 34th. Levi McIntyre, Trent Dunham, Zach Flickinger all out of the race, along with Jake Baskinger, Dallas McIntosh, Ryan Madden, and Tim Walsh. So right now, only 1 chaser is out of the race, that being Grayson Acavito. As we got the battle for the lead on again, Michael Norman, who started this race from dead last, is now up here taking the race lead. Oh, not 4 wide again. This isn't going to end well again. Are you guys kidding me? Oh, they settled it to 3. No, there they go. Gluba. Nathan Hudson, 1 car upside down. That's Johnny Gardner. John Arndt's into it. Cat Tellier's involved. Big wreck again. Cody Lamas is in it. And they're still wrecking. There's a car that's spinning like a top on its roof. That's Johnny Gardner. Keith Batson is collected as well. And the caution flag waves one more time. Jessica Shelton was in it. Nathan Hudson, Cole Baker on pit road. Brandon Gonzalez as well. It's a race of attrition. This is reminding me so much of our first chase race at Chicagoland. Oh my goodness. Well, the statement I made before that wreck was Grayson Acavito is the only chaser currently out of the race. Well, I think that statement has just been made null and void. As James Richardson took the lead, and looks like they're going to come to pit road again. Now, the last time they were all in, they took just fuel only. This might be their opportunity to come down and get Goodyear rubber. Although I have a feeling this may not be our last caution of the day, and Richardson will head to pit road. Will anybody roll the dice and stay out? Doesn't look like it. Everybody's coming to pit lane. So while they make their pit stops, let's take a look at this one. This one, a really big wreck on the back straightaway. Well, you'd have thought they'd have learned their lesson that 4 wide does not work here, especially coming out of turn 2, where everybody seems to get tight and drift up the racetrack, but they tried 4 wide. Benjamin Miles up into Nathan Hudson. There's Gluba and Johnny Gardner. Gardner hitting hard, and the car going to flip up and onto its roof, and then just watch this. Everybody trying to avoid, and the track just gets blocked up. Cat Tellier is going to have absolutely nowhere to go. There's John Arndt getting involved. Zachary Fitzwater might have gotten a piece. I don't know. Look at Marie Minobi just squeaked through. Close call there. Cody Lamas hits the upside down Johnny Gardner. Watch the left side of your screen. Jessica Shelton right there. Got into Cat Tellier. That's what gave her damage. Charles Sanford, I believe, got some damage. Yes, he did. He got into Nathan Hudson, and his car actually flipped up into the air. Cole Baker involved. There's Keith Batson, William Brock, nowhere for them to go. Joshua Sekuli gets through it, and can't see through the smoke if Garrett Sidner's going to get through or not. Yes, he is as well. And then here comes more traffic there. That is Sean Galligan, Dylan Poteet, and Kyle Matthews. So, boy, all 3 of the Retro Racing Enterprises cars have been involved in something today. And Charles Sanford, Jessica Shelton. Boy, a lot of chases involved in this one as well. There's Shelton. Her day appears to be over. Boy, this is quite a race of attrition. There's no doubt about that. And Johnny Gardner taking an awfully wild ride there. Upside down, spinning down the back straightaway in that 27. Getting ready to go back green. Anthony McCrory was the first one off of pit road, so he will restart this race as the leader. Leon Alvarez came out second, then Emmanuel Hartnett, Benjamin Miles, and JT Bryant. That will be the top 5. They will restart behind Charles Sanford, who is 1 lap down. Out of the race, the cars of Shelton, Cody Lamas, Holden Gluba, John Arndt, Keith Batson, Nathan Hudson, Cat Tellier, Cole Baker, William Brock, Johnny Gardner is just now retired from the race as well. We're going to have only a handful of cars left, and right now we only got 15 scored on the lead lap. We'll try and give a full field rundown here if we can. Oh, looks like Hartnett actually beat McCrory out, so Hartnett actually going to restart as the leader. My apologies. I thought McCrory was the first one off pit road. So they'll restart behind the lap machine of Charles Sanford. This will be a very interesting restart, as it'll be Hartnett, McCrory, then Alvarez, Miles, and Bryant, the top 5. We'll give you the top 10 when they cross the line. And we're ready to go again. And look at this. Hartnett tries the outside line to get around Sanford. Now he can go low. And look at Benjamin Miles' big run to the inside. And Miles will take the lead. Charles Sanford holding up everybody. Miles says, forget this. He punched the throttle and he'll go to the top position. And now he'll race side by side with JT Bryant for the top spot. 2 chasers right now, second and third in Miles and McCrory. And now as the battle for the lead settles out, let's jump back here, make sure everybody's okay. How about Marie Minobi? Talk about a comeback. Started outside of the front row, had some kind of an issue, had to come to pit road before the green flag even dropped. Now back up in the top 10, crossing the line here in the 7th position. What a comeback for her. Jump back here. There's Dylan Poteet, hoodless and all. He'll lose 10th to Garrett Sidner. Zachary Fitzwater right now up in the 14th position. Kyle Matthews still soldiering on in 17th. And Dylan Young, I believe, is the last car on the lead lap in the 15th position as Brandon Gonzalez on pit road. JT Bryant showing the way. So, at this point in time, we have, looks like 6 drivers a lap down. 21 drivers still running on the racetrack. 15 on the lead lap. Chris Dodd is 6 laps down. Brandon Gonzalez 5 laps down. And then Sean Galligan, Joshua Sekuli, Kyle Matthews, and Charles Sanford all 1 lap down apiece. Battle is on for third position. Here comes Marie Minobi up the inside line. James Richardson, Emmanuel Hartnett, Benjamin Miles in this mix. I'll tell you what, the drivers right now that would benefit the most from this race at this point in time would be McCrory, Richardson, Miles, and Fitzwater. They right now would be the top 4 highest running chasers on the racetrack at this point in time. As the battle is on for second, Richardson to the inside of McCrory. But they're all chasing the 22 of JT Bryant. Unfortunately, we've actually been able to start to settle into a green flag run. But it's taken us eliminating practically half the field to get to that point. JT Bryant enjoying the view right now. If I remember correctly, last year, one of JT Bryant's 2 victories came at a track somewhat similar to this, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. As Minobi moves into second, what a comeback story this would be for Marie Minobi if she could win this thing. After being on pit road before the green flag even came out, getting an early caution, staying on the lead lap, and fighting her way back up to the front. This is a good battle back here. Emmanuel Hartnett finding himself surrounded by white banners and spoilers. Miles, Richardson, McCrory all fighting to be the top running chaser. Right now that position held by Miles in third place. Richardson right now in 5th, McCrory in 6th as they stand unofficially. And how about, we have, whoa, look out, Charles Sanford. They're all going to get around him. But Grayson Acavito, obviously a tough break for him out of the race, but how about his 2 teammates out of Everham Motorsports here this week? Leon Alvarez right now running in 7th. His teammate Rocco Twyman, not too far back, there he is, in the 11th position. And for Chris Dodd, it's just all about trying to pick up positions. He's right now in the 21st spot. And that's about as good as he'll finish unless somebody else ends up getting involved in a wreck and retiring. But Chris Dodd's just trying to salvage what he can, as is Kyle Matthews in the 09. Where's Kyle? There he is. He's currently scored in 18th place. Dylan Young slightly off the pace in 15th, last car on the lead lap, and his teammate is about to reel him in and put him a lap down. Oh, he's going to block his own teammate! Yikes! And here comes everybody! Oh boy, JT Bryant apparently not knowing where his teammate was going to go, and Dylan Young just threw a block on his own teammate right there, and that brought 2nd through 6th right to him. Actually, no, 2nd through 7th, because here's Leon Alvarez in the mix as well. JT recovers nicely, though. Grows his gap again for the race lead between himself and Marie Minobi. But Minobi does not have anybody to contend with and can still try and set her sights on reeling in the Fozzie Ford. Hartnett right now in the 3rd spot, trying to get the run off the high side to hold off Anthony McCrory. Looks like he might do it. McCrory now tucks up in line in 4th. Richardson in 5th, and we got another slow car they're going to have to deal with. That might be Kyle Matthews. It is. Let's see if JT Bryant has any better luck with this car. Next time by will be at 15 laps to go. It's taken us 3 massive cautions to get to this point. Half the field is gone out of the race, and a number of chasers along with it as JT Bryant will get around Kyle Matthews. Chasers including Grayson Acavito, Jessica Shelton, and I believe there was one other chaser. Maybe those are the only 2. Wow, those are the only 2 chasers. The other chasers, where they're currently running after the last lap, it would be Anthony McCrory 4th, James Richardson in 5th, Benjamin Miles in 7th, Zachary Fitzwater is 12th, Kyle Matthews is now 2 laps down in 18th, Charles Sanford is 19th, 2 laps down, and Chris Dodd is 6 laps down in 21st. I'm actually quite shocked that only 2 chasers at this point are out of the race, those being Shelton and Acavito, who are really going to need to step it up in the next 2 weeks at Homestead, Miami, and Talladega. As things stand right now, the top 4, the final 4 spots, would be held at this point in time by McCrory, Richardson, Miles, and Fitzwater. At least that's how it would stand heading into next week at Homestead, as they're going to put Charles Sanford down another lap, and he's going to hold up Anthony McCrory in the 61. McCrory drops all the way back now to the 7th position as a result of not being able to get by the Los Angeles Angels Chevrolet. And he may have actually lost this lead pack as well. Top 3 have broken away, then it's the next 3, 4th through 6th, and then McCrory way back in 7th. JT Bryant, Marie Minobi, James Richardson. That's the top 3, and these could be the 3 to settle it out, unless pit stops come into play. Who knows? These drivers have been on pit road on 2 of our 3 cautions, so I would think they were good to go on fuel, but you never know. Got another slow car up ahead, 2 slow cars. That's Joshua Michaels and Sean Galligan, who are actually battling for position right now amongst themselves. JT Bryant going to enter the fray, and here's Joshua Sekuli as well they'll have to deal with. Bryant makes quick work of Michaels, Galligan, and Sekuli, but here comes Marie Minobi for the race lead. Will she make the move down into 1? Does she have enough momentum? No, not yet. Still follows in the tire tracks. James Richardson right there in 3rd, and then you've got 4 through 6. They're starting to reel in these top 3 again, so we could have 6 drivers fighting for the win here within a couple of laps. It'll be 10 laps to go this time by. Crossing the stripe, it's Ford, Toyota, Toyota, then Chevy, Dodge, Chevy, and then Audi completes the top 7. JT Bryant, his teammate Levi McIntyre went to victory lane earlier on this season at Las Vegas. Whoa! Daniel Voiles causing some problems here, and he just held up James Richardson. And now JT Bryant's going to get by his teammate Dylan Young, having to slice and dice his way through traffic. But every car that he passes, Marie Minobi follows in line and gets by them as well. And now Richardson loses a little bit of ground on the top 2. I don't know why, but I just get the feeling that the slower lap traffic is going to play a huge factor into whether JT Bryant or Marie Minobi are going to victory lane here. It just seems like it. Next car they're going to have to deal with is Zachary Fitzwater, who is just now exiting out of turn 2. Fitzwater right now the last car on the lead lap in the 14th position. Fitzwater has no alliance with either Young Motorsports or Fire Race Racing, so would he throw a block on the 22 car? I don't know. It wouldn't be for position, so he wouldn't lose any points. I'm not certain Fitzwater's going to maybe put up much of a fight, if then when they get to him. It's now the top 2. Richardson has lost ground to them. He's now about 1.5 seconds back. Emmanuel Hartnett, Benjamin Miles, Leon Alvarez in their group, they are about 3 seconds back. You've got McCrory way back here. There he is, all by his lonesome in 7th. Garrett Sidner by himself in 8th. And here's the battle on for the 9th and 10th position. 3 wide, Twyman and Poteet splitting Chris Dodd. They're still 3 wide. Oh, settle this out, please. They do. Poteet will move to 9th. Rocco Twyman back to 10th as Chris Dodd's headed for pit road. And I believe it's only now, as I think they got around Fitzwater. They did. There's only 10 cars left on the lead lap. But I just saw Chris Dodd head for pit road. Does that mean he couldn't make it on fuel? And does that mean these drivers can't make it on fuel? Is anybody else on pit lane? No, nobody else on pit road. 10 cars on the lead lap. The last car on the lead lap right there, Rocco Twyman. He's got about a full back straightaway between himself and JT Bryant, so I don't think he'll fall a lap down. But we got to see if Marie Minobi's got anything for JT Bryant. I don't think traffic's going to be an issue anymore. Minobi's coming to pit road! No, she's not. Yes, she is! She is coming to pit road. She almost missed it, too. Going through the grass, Minobi hits pit road. Benjamin Miles does the same. Emmanuel Hartnett is in. These drivers might not be able to all make it on fuel. Trouble! Joshua Michaels and Charles Sanford spin up into the wall. The caution flag will wave. Caution is out. Oh, and Brandon Gonzalez just clobbered Joshua Michaels. Oh, and Chris Dodd just clobbered him. Where's the race leader, JT Bryant? There he is. Can he coast enough to be able to make it on fuel will be the question. He will come to the start-finish line. He will not come to pit road. Neither will Richardson. Now the big question comes, can these drivers make it on fuel? I think Hartnett might be out. No, he just came off pit road. Oh boy. Fuel is going to be an issue. And I think we're going to get back green too. We will probably get back green flag racing before this is over. We may have a green-white checkered. The question of fuel is now an issue. Who is going to be able to make it? We are not going to go back and look at a replay. We basically saw what happened. It looked like either Charles Sanford or Joshua Michaels was trying to come to pit road. Contact was made on the apron. The both spun up into the wall. Chris Dodd and Brandon Gonzalez plowed into it. And JT is coming to pit road. This is going to be good. This is going to be interesting. The pace car will show 1 to go when he hits the line here. Leon Alvarez is in. McCrory is in. Richardson's not coming to pit road. The 11 did not come to pit road. Oh, this could be risky on his part. JT Bryant, Leon Alvarez, they all came to pit road. I think Benjamin Miles stayed out. Yes, he did. He had already been to pit road, as had Marie Minobi, as had Emmanuel Hartnett. So these guys, I think, are good to go on fuel. Bryant is out. Alvarez is out. Here comes McCrory, Voiles, Dylan Young. Those two are lapped down. Garrett Sidner, he's coming out. Sekuli is on pit road again in the 47. But the race leader is going to be Richardson. You can see the lights are out atop the pace car. This could be Marie Minobi's race to lose. Richardson will be the leader. Minobi will restart second. It will be a green-white checkered. Rocco Twyman, I believe, is off the lead lap. He is. So restarting in third will be Benjamin Miles. Fourth, Hartnett. Bryant in fifth. Sixth place will be Alvarez. Seventh, McCrory. And Garrett Sidner will be eighth, the last car on the lead lap. Well, actually, he's not the last car on the lead lap. Zachary Fitzwater is actually on the tail end of the lead lap in the ninth position. But he won't be a factor for this win. Who is it going to be? Green, white, checkered here at Michigan. Joshua Michaels, Chris Dodd, Brandon Gonzalez, they've all retired from the race. Charles Sanford still running in the 18th position. Green flag back out. Here we go. Does Richardson have enough fuel to make it 2 laps? He's going to get boxed in here behind Kyle Matthews and Fitzwater. He'll go to the high side around Matthews. To my knowledge, Richardson did not pit. Here he goes, cutting to the inside on Fitzwater. Minobi all over his back bumper. Marie Minobi looking for her first win of her career. Right behind Richardson. Can Richardson make it? He'll see the white flag this time. Wait a minute. Richardson's coming to pit road. So is Fitzwater. That turns the race lead over to Marie Minobi. White flag in the air. Minobi, a huge lead over JT Bryant. That pit stop at the last second. She's going to be able to pit strategize her way to victory lane. It will be the first win of the season for Fire Ice Racing. What strategy? Minobi didn't even take the green flag, had to come to pit road after being scheduled to start in second. What a comeback victory. Marie Minobi, first career Hersheys Cup Series win, comes here today at Michigan. Bryant will get second. McCrory in third. Miles fourth. Hartnett will finish the day out in fifth. But what an unbelievable finish to this race. Sidner had to pit again. Richardson had to pit. As we know, he had to give up the lead. What a crazy race. What a crazy, crazy race. Marie Minobi, let's just give an account of the day. Couldn't even take the green flag. Came to pit road for some kind of a problem, was going to start on the outside of the front row. Came back out, got an early caution, stayed on the lead lap. Made it through 3 huge wrecks early on, worked her way back up into the top 10, battled with JT Bryant, running in second for a good portion of that long green flag run, comes to pit road with about 4 laps to go, gets another caution flag, remains on the lead lap, restarts in second place, and manages to win the race with James Richardson running out of fuel. That is what they call a fairy tale story day. Minobe with the victory. JT Bryant in second, Anthony McCurry gets third, Benjamin Miles fourth, Hartnett gets fifth, and then the last cars to finish on the lead lap, Alvarez, Sidner, and Richardson. So the top 3, McCurry, Miles, Richardson, they're going to have a good points today. Dylan Poteet will get 9th, Hood missing and all. He'll finish a lap down, though. Rocco Twyman gets 10th. Zachary Fitzwater finishes in 11th, so he'll be the 4th highest chase driver right now as far as the point standings are concerned. Daniel Voiles gets 12th, Dylan Young 13th, Sean Galligan 14th, Kyle Matthews, talk about sticking it out. He'll get 15th here today. Charles Sanford also sticking it out as he was involved in 2 wrecks. He gets 16th. Joshua Michaels out of the race, 17th, and Joshua Scully was the last car to, quote, finish the race. He actually finished it sitting on pit road in 18th position. All the rest of the drivers finished out of the race, including chasers Chris Dodd in 20th. Then you got to go down before you find Grayson Acavito and Jessica Shelton. Acavito in 35th. Shelton finished in 22nd. So we had 3 chasers finish this event behind the wall. But boy, what a day for Marie Minobe. And I believe Marie Minobe now becomes the 3rd rookie to win this season. The first one was Kyle Keith at Pocono. The second one was Nathan Hudson at Lime Rock. And now Marie Minobe adds her name to the list of rookies who have gone to victory lane here this season. How about that? Anyway, thank you all for tuning in to this race here from Michigan. Definitely a wreck fest to be sure, but had a pretty doggone exciting finish. Next week, we're packing up and heading to Florida for our Homestead Miami Speedway, and then we get ready for our final elimination race to set us up for our final 4 to battle for the championship at Auto Club. We're going to the high banks of Talladega Super Speedway for that elimination race. Thank you all so much for tuning in to today's race for Michigan. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We'll show you your full finish results again down through 42nd place. Marie Minobe, your winner here today at Michigan. Here comes your rookie point standings, your overall points, and your chase points heading to next week at Homestead Miami. Until then, I'm Seth Cole signing off as you've been watching a production of the NCRA Offline Racing at its best.
Oh, don't think
He's going for it! He's going for it!
It's gonna be a photo finish.
Side by side to the line! Hudson and Sidner! Who is it? I think it was Sidner. It might have been. It was! Holy cow! Oh, look out, Charles, behind you!